All right, hello and welcome back to the Year of the Self, the video series. I know you've been chomping at the bit to meet this person that I mentioned in the last video. You've probably been thinking, who on earth could she possibly be introducing me to? The most important person I'll ever meet? I'm just dying to know, Doc. Tell me, tell me. All right, I have made you wait long enough. The suspense has got to be killing you. Now, but I want you to look in the mirror or some sort of reflective surface and say hello. I want to introduce you to your authentic self, and that is exactly what I aim to do in the next few days. Now, truth is, he or she may not be right there in front of you yet. That may take a little time and some focused work to bring about. It won't happen in one short video, okay? But we can get a jump start on the process in the next couple days. Rest assured, your authentic self is in there and absolutely beside herself to come to life. It is one of the most liberating experiences to really, truly meet her or him, depending on the situation. Now, I look so forward to helping you do this because this is literally my favorite part of coaching. I love this stuff, okay? But first, I want to talk some terminology just so we can have successful communication, because like any kind of communication, we need to be using the same terms, so we're on that same proverbial page. All right, so I've got some props this time. All right, so here's you and me and her and him, all right? So as human beings, we are not just some hunk of flesh. We are quite complex. We've been creatively and uniquely made to be one of a kind. Our self is made up of three parts, the first of which is our body, Exhibit A. Now, this is the most obvious because it's tangible, right? We can see it, we can feel it, we can measure stuff about it. It's tangible. So we've all been through some kind of physical pain, right? Some sort of cut, bruise, broken bone, or some sort of visceral thing like gallbladder, giving birth, right? Digestive issues, maybe some sort of neurological thing like a headache or sciatica, or neuropathy. We've all experienced some kind of physical pain, so we can relate to one another on that facet of the self, right? So when warranted, we may seek help dealing with the pain. And for 25 years, people came to me with some type of physical pain. I'd help them, and best case scenario, the pain would fully resolve. So the body is your physical self. So next we have the mind. And I call this the identity, or our individuality. That's where our individuality is housed, right? So there are three parts to our mind. We've got our thoughts, and they roll in while we're awake. I got to shift a couple things here. So they roll in while we're awake, and sometimes not so awake, right? They make themselves heard no matter what's currently going on. And these thoughts, they're either positive or negative, right? So the positive ones, they come from our internal cheerleader. You are awesome. I love your hair. You look great in yellow. Man, you did so well talking to your boss. I love you, right? That's our cheerleader. We love him or her. Love, love, love. And on the flip side, the internal critic. We all know that bugger, right? Very well established. Well, that was a stupid thing to say. Are you really wearing that? You look like you've not slept in weeks. Your hair makes you look homeless. You know, that side of your thoughts, the one you're never really good enough for. All right, so now the second part of the mind, now that's where you choose which of those sides or which thoughts to take to heart. This is where your will resides, and you can choose which thoughts to focus on and which you'll reject. You get that choice. It's a very empowering place to stand. And many people, they don't realize they can choose their thoughts, and you can. I mean, you can't control them necessarily like that they come in, because they're coming in. You can't control them before they're there, but you can categorize them, right? And they come in at often the most inconvenient times, as we all know, but nonetheless, you get to choose which ones you set a place for at the table, okay? And now the internal mental game, as I kind of call it, it's what it means to be human. We've all got this going on at all times. Now, some people, they're not aware of this truth. They assume that just because they have this thought, it must be true. Now, this could be a rabbit hole of judgment, of opinion, but it doesn't equate to the truth. Truth is very different from our opinions, thoughts, and judgments about ourselves and others. So as mature and balanced adults, we choose the accurate ones and reject the false. Okay, so sometimes we hold on to the wrong ones, and they can play like a broken record, often for a lifetime. And that's if we never examined our thoughts. Okay, so you may be convinced you can't control your thoughts. They just pop in there and they run amok. Well, I hear you. Yes, you can choose. I've got amazing news for you. You can totally choose the thoughts that you bring to life. You just haven't learned the right strategy yet. And that strategy is everything. And there is a strategy for everything. See, with the right strategy, you can take on anything in life, even lifelong negative and debilitating emotions. And that leads us to the third part of our mind, our emotions. Right? So now we don't learn this stuff in school. Years upon years of studying, and our self remains a mystery. Nobody ever sat me down to teach me this. How about you? I mean, did you have someone sit here and dissect this for you? See, we're constantly thinking. I like to call it the monkey mind. And sometimes that chick, she get drunk, right? She's just running on, and then she finally passes out. See, overall, our emotions, they make us feel positive or negative, right? So whichever thought we focus on, whichever ones make it through that retain or reject process, those thoughts have an emotion attached to them. These emotions, they determine how we feel minute to minute, day to day, and literally throughout our lifetime. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? This is the absolute truth. So now for the third part of you that makes you, you. So think back. Have you ever been let down? Have you ever been rejected? Have you ever felt hurt? Have you ever been cheated on? Has anyone ever insulted you? Now, if you say yes to any of these questions, how did you feel? Okay, I need to add something here real quick. All right, so initially, we usually respond. We have a reaction, right? And then when it kind of the dust settles, it usually boils down to a feeling of hurt, a wound of sorts, but it's not a physical wound. It's when we feel hurt from rejection on some level or another, and we might describe that as kind of as brokenhearted or deeply hurt, and we feel it right here, right here. It's that I don't know, it's like that betrayal, that heartache, right? So we feel it here, right here in our heart. But it's not our physical heart, it's our spiritual heart. It's not tangible, and we can carry this pain for a lifetime. Whoops. See, I look at it like this. I'm not just a physical body. I am a spiritual being wrapped in a physical body. My body, that's the vehicle that I travel around in. And this is how I look at everyone, in fact, whether personally or professionally. So at this point, you are the sum of all your past thoughts, feelings, rejections, and feelings of acceptance. Ideally, we will continue to uncover truths and grow as spiritual beings, religion aside, okay? So this is how we grow and mature. This is how we shed those limiting beliefs that we took on as children. This is how we evolve as ourselves. Now, unfortunately, many people who come to me now as a strategic life coach and metabolism maven, they are not aware of how their thoughts limit them. They're not aware that they are holding them back from what they truly want. Now, they may be doing all the right things, but they just can't seem to get past that certain sticking point. Now, this is especially true when it comes to making changes that can radically enhance our health. Right? I see it time after time after time. Someone just gets stuck and they quit. And after the past couple of years of focusing my research on this topic, the topic of authentic self, I now see it as clear as day that when the mindset piece of the puzzle, when that's missing, lasting change is near impossible, no matter the topic. So if there's incongruence between the body, mind, and spirit, forget about it. You are getting no lasting change, right? So this here is the core of our identity. And I wanted to establish some common terms so we could communicate well together during this online conversation. I think this is a topic that is lacking tremendously in our collective conversation as a culture, especially in the world of social media. See, we focus on the kids in social media. What about us? See, there's the real you and the social media you. Am I right? It's okay. It's okay. It makes us human to want to present to the world that we've got it all figured out. It's completely expected of us, right? See, we all do it. And we're pretty much faking it for most of the time, aren't we? It's okay. I'm a safe place to talk about stuff like this. Always have been, always will be. Because you see, I really like diving deep with clients. I love to help them uncover their truth. It is like oxygen for my spirit. I mean, love it. And I'm bringing in the new year, as I'm calling it, the year of the self. Now, I'm doing that with a core group of people. That's part of my goal this year, is to help people dig deeper into their own bodies, minds, and spirits to uncover their authentic selves. No one can do it for you, but a mentor can show you the way. So whether you're dealing with chronic pain, excess body fat, body image issues, being out of shape, feeling just deconditioned, lack of clarity, lack of focus, metabolic syndrome, diabetes type 2, insulin issues, bowel issues, and so on, it all boils down to finding a strategy that works for you. This is my wheelhouse. This is where I live. This is where I shine. And I'm only going to do it with a limited number of folks because I want to help them succeed beyond their wildest dreams. So tune into the next video. I have some goodies in store for you there. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and be good to yourself and others. Until then, bye.